It's post-game show. I am your host, Eric. I got Kenny over there, Ron down there. How are you, gentlemen?
Good.
Good, good.
Good.
So we're gonna discuss obviously the game against Miami. New England lost the game 20-7. First off, your overall thoughts of the game itself. Obviously, week one, so some things to figure out. But your thoughts on the New England Patriots and their loss against Miami this week?
Well, look, I mean, we kind of expected to lose at Miami. I mean, they're not easy to play no matter who's on their team. And they have a good defense. But, the Patriots offense didn't exactly make it difficult.
Kenny?
Yeah, true. Last year we started 1-3, then we got going. So this is not the time to panic. It's just a feel out game. It's only the first game. I'm not gonna panic.
Okay. So I'm going to be the pessimist on this panel because obviously you guys don't want to say it, see it, believe it. I am getting tired of the excuses. I'm getting tired of people making excuses for this team. Bob Kraft chose Bill Belichick over Tom Brady. And you can see that this team continuously is going to struggle because they just don't have players. You can't plug and play like you could 3 years ago with Tom Brady. And that's what they're trying to do. They got average players. And because he's such a good coach, we believe he's going to be able to coach them up every game. They got out coached today. They got outplayed today. They got out hustled today. I don't see where it's a feel out game or a feel out period or 1-3. Mac Jones took a step back today. He looked more like a rookie at any point than he did even last season. He overthrowing the ball, underthrowing the ball, looked like he was panicking in the pocket. Poor play calling. We knew this was going to be a problem from day one. And, a 3rd and 3, they're running up the middle. Like just the weirdest calls at the weirdest times. No continuity. And then when they finally had some continuity, when they were running the no huddle, we didn't go back to it the rest of the game. Like confuse Miami a little bit, keep them on the field, make them tired. The coaching staff did not think out this process today, and it was evident what was displayed on the field. That's my opinion. If this team wins 6-7 games, I'd be surprised. They're not going to beat teams with what they have on the field. They're not.
Well, I don't think it's quite that bad. But it is alarming. And look, first of all, I just don't think that you should have two defensive coaches in charge of offense. Like, that's the only thing that I'm really worried about. I want an offensive coach in there. I don't want a defensive coach calling plays on offense. That's not the way it should be. And it's not the way the Patriots should be. Like, this. Look, you can't treat coaches like they're players. You can't plug and play coaches. That's the problem. That's what we have right now. We have plug and play coaching. The players, I don't think the players are the issue, to be honest with you, because I like what I saw defensively from this team, but you can't be out on the field the whole game.
Well, again, there was opportunities for them to stop Miami. They knew they were going to run the ball, and they couldn't stop them. It just
right. That might not necessarily be the players' fault, although there was one missed tackle that I saw, and I believe that was Bryant.
Did you guys hear Christian Barmore's name mentioned at all today? Did he even play? Christian Barmore, exactly.
No,
we continue. Like there were certain guys that we expected. Now I was reading during the game, and when Mac Jones took that sack, Cole Strange was benched. After that, that's your number 1 draft pick,
right?
That everybody said was a reach to begin with, and now he's on the bench.
Right. I did not like that pick there. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I wanted somebody else, and we talked about those players that I would have liked to see. But the answer is not just to bench somebody. That is not the answer.
Exactly. It needs game
And
experience.
you can't.
At this point.
You're not going to get the experience as a young player if you're going to get benched because of missing once.
Yeah.
And it was a big one. Now, granted, it was a big one, but when a player is being told this is what you have to do when you're covering on that line, you can't. If he doesn't recognize that somebody else is coming in late and then going in rather than stepping back and covering, a receiver or a running back or whoever that guy is supposed to be covering on defense, if you can't recognize that, that's just to me that your coaching staff didn't get him ready. That might not necessarily be the player's fault.
Again,
And
who
so
coaches the offensive line too?
Right.
Not Patricia.
Right. And this is what I'm saying.
What
you
are we
can't
doing?
plug and play coaches. This is a coaching problem. I don't think it's a player problem. I think the players are fine, to be honest with you.
But you're going to start to see the frustration creep in with the players. Go ahead, Kenny.
I agree with Ron because all game long they're saying who's calling the plays, and who is calling the plays. Is it all three of them? Is it by committee or something? Because that call playing was terrible. So who's calling the plays?
And like he said, they don't know the players. If the players don't know who's calling the plays, then you're going to have mass confusion on what they're going to do.
Yeah, right.
And then there's a channel, and how is the play coming in too late? So the players don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, so I saw. It looked like Mac was rattled. I just seen that times he was rattled. There were a couple of the timeouts. Like they didn't seem like they knew what they were doing. Now he's got all these fancy hand signal things going on and everything. And I just don't understand it. But let's talk some numbers real quick. 271 total yards of offense, 193 in the air, 78 rushing. Supposed to be their strength would be running the ball. I didn't see it as much today. 4 for 9 on third downs, 0 for 1 on the fourth down attempt. 4 penalties for 15 yards. I thought they did a better job from that standpoint, but I could also say I didn't see the flags being thrown as much early. It seemed like the officials didn't want to. 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles, and an interception. Those can't happen. You continue to give teams opportunities, you're going to continue to lose, especially with this offense.
Yep.
Mac Jones, 21 for 30, 213 yards, a touchdown, an interception, sacked twice. Overall grade of Mac Jones's performance today.
B.
A B. Wow, you are such an easy teacher.
C minus.
I would get a C. He's average to me today. I thought he was average. A B.
You only had one pick.
The B. Is it because it's on your head?
You only had one pick. If he had more than one pick, I'd have given him, C.
But a lot of overthrown balls that Nelson Aguilar had. It was a wide open. Aguilar had good 3-4 yards on the guy.
Yeah.
Well overthrown out of bounds.
Yeah, to me, it wasn't the picks. It was because the pick really shouldn't even have happened. Because that should have been
it was a penalty. I'll agree with you on that.
But it was the poorly thrown balls. That's what got me a little worried. But again, if the players are confused on what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But we have the greatest coach in the NFL. That's what everybody keeps telling me.
I'm just saying.
Everybody keeps telling me that. So at what point do we start to blame Bill Belichick? At what point?
We'll see. I mean,
this is the problem.
We gotta wait to see.
What has he won since Tom Brady has left?
Seriously.
What has he won since Tom Brady left?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing.
You're going into year 3 now, and they look worse than they did again with Cam Newton.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that.
Here's another problem I have. So Damian Harris, 9 carries, 48 yards, a 5.3 average. Why do we not go with one running back and just have Ramondre Stevenson, who I like, but again, 8 carries, 25 yards, a 3.1 average. Damian Harris should get the ball 15 or 20 times a game. And if we're going to keep splitting time, I think you're honestly hurting the team because to me, Damian Harris is a little quicker, hits the hole better, has been doing it longer, and yet we're going to keep playing this bounce game between the 2 running backs. Oh, Ramondre's in. Oh, Damian Harrison. Oh, Damian's on third. Nope, now Ramondre. It's not fooling anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Stick with the guy that, honestly, look, he's probably going to be a free agent after this year. They're not going to re-sign him. Use him and abuse him, and just give the guy 15 to 20 carries. Save Ramondre Stevenson for next season. There you go, because he's going to be your starting running back. I don't understand why this coaching staff feels they have to split between these two guys.
It's coaching. Somebody got to do something. Somebody got to.
Again, who's the head coach of the team again?
Yeah.
Okay, let me continue. Jacoby Myers, only wide receiver that seems to understand the offense and can work with Mac. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I think we saw this all last season as well.
Yep.
4 receptions, 55 yards. Jonnu Smith actually made an appearance, which was nice.
Yep.
Who?
3 receptions, 33 yards. At least he showed a little bit. Kendrick Bourne, who's supposedly in the doghouse, made one of the best plays of the game, that 41-yard pass. Right? But let's not put him in the game because great call again. Who's the head coach again of the team? Okay. Let's continue that theme. And then the benching, again, I will continue to say it, of Cole Strange on offense. It's going to kill this team if they can't get this offensive line to figure it out. It's going to be a problem. So that was your offensive numbers. Defensively, Devin McCourty, one of the oldest safeties in the league, 6 tackles. Great job. But they were running 5 to 6 DBs the entire game. Couldn't stop the run either. Jawan Bentley, 4 tackles, a sack. Dietrich Wise, 3 tackles and a sack. Matthew Judon, 2 tackles and a sack. Kyle Duggar, 4 tackles. I thought he played a very good game. I thought Duggar honestly looked very good. Judon, I still saw some of that times where he looked tired.
Yeah.
They kept benching him and putting Langley in.
Mm-hmm.
And that was concerning to me because, again, this was the same problem we had with him last season. And then the injury to Adrian Phillips. How severe it is, hopefully it's nothing bad, but anytime ribs, that's always going to affect you from a tackling standpoint, breathing, running. So that might be an injury that keeps him out. I agree with you, Ron. I'm not as concerned with the defense because I feel like they're okay. They're okay. They're not good. They're okay. The offense, I'm still very concerned with. This is a below average offense. And I didn't see anything today that makes me feel like they're going to figure it out in 4 weeks.
Look, they definitely have the skill to succeed on offense, but they need to be put into the proper plays. And I'm telling you, this is all coaching. This is coaching.
So, okay, I'm going to ask you this question.
And like last year, we complained about the coaching all season long. And now we're in a worse and we're in a worse position now, with the coaching staff. Like, so we don't know who's doing what.
All right. So let me ask you both this question, because Ron, you said don't panic. Kenny, you said they'll figure it out week 4 or so. They'll start to get it. Is the coaching staff changing by week 4 or 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to change the coaching staff.
Yeah, no doubt. Because you know why? Because they don't have any sense of urgency. Like you said, the defense was great. The offense, terrible.
By week 4 or 5, the season's over.
yeah, right.
Okay.
They don't have a Josh McDaniels. The one thing I did not see is somebody going to Jones and say, "Hey, look, let's sit down. Let's look what you did wrong. Yeah. You missed with this, with that." Josh McDaniels used to do that. Yeah, let me show you what you did. You did this, that. He doesn't have that no more. He's just sitting on the sidelines. Nobody's talked to him. Nobody's educating this boy because he only has 1 year under his belt. You know what I'm saying? So no one's educating him. You did this wrong, this wrong, this wrong. You could do that. You missed this, and this. Nobody's doing that like Josh McDaniels. So it's just like he's like left up in the air.
Yeah, so let's compare to last season. Patriots started 1-3, correct?
Correct.
If they start 1-3, there is no way that they're going to go 9-4 the rest of the way, or 9-3 the rest of the way. Sorry,
no,
that's not happening.
No.
So, because their schedule is tougher at the end of the season,
and they got to play Miami again.
Yeah. Right. So they can't go 1-3 this season. They need to be at least 2-2 going into week 5. So that way they can stay in the hunt.
They got 2 away games. First they had Dolphins. Now they got Pittsburgh next week in Pittsburgh.
And think about that pass rush.
And Cincinnati's got all they can handle right now with Pittsburgh. Cincinnati just missed a kick in in overtime,
Oh.
and now Pittsburgh has the ball.
Oh, do or die situation now. So I'm going to ask your thoughts on Pittsburgh. I'm glad you brought it up. What are you looking for next week from this team? What do you want to see? Even if it's a loss, what do you want to see next week against Pittsburgh?
They have to win. It's not even a question. They have to win that game. They have to. If they don't win that game, then the team then becomes soft.
Yeah.
Because they need to toughen up, obviously, because Miami took it to them.
Mm-hmm.
And now they look pretty soft because of that loss. And so they go into Pittsburgh and they get bullied by Pittsburgh, then we're going to be questioning everything. And rightfully so.
Yeah, I think some continuity on offense. I definitely want to see a little more play calling that makes sense.
Okay, you know what? Bill needs to swallow his pride and say, hey, you know what? I need an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
It's too late, though, in the season. You can't put a system in now.
No, you can't.
They either got to get a guy that's been in the system before.
Right.
Or again, you bite the bullet, but what that means is that, again, you made another bad mistake.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, you drafted poorly again. You let some players go. That Justin Bethel on special teams made a beautiful play for Miami.
Yep.
Again, played great for us. Not quite sure why, because they got some Schooler. They made Schooler. He played well in the
and we don't even have a backup quarterback.
Brian Hoyer. So Kenny, you brought up that when he went on the sideline, they said it during the game. He went and talked to Brian Hoyer. He's not talking to Patricia or Joe Judge. He's talking to Brian Hoyer.
Yeah,
that's just where we're at.
Yeah,
that's the bad part. Like you see it right there because they don't know. The players don't know who's in charge.
No,
they don't know.
And the mystique of Bill Belichick is it's fading off. Back in the day, you could pick up a player, get these guys, and you put them in the right spots, and they could make plays because they believed in the coaching staff. They believed in him.
Yeah.
And now you're not getting that. These guys don't. You could see Nelson Aguilar when he got overthrown. He put his head up in the air like, "What are we doing? Like we can't even make a simple pass play." Hunter Henry, non-factor today. Like that was his security blanket last season.
Mm-hmm.
All they have is Jacoby Meyer on offense right now. That looks like he understands what needs to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And Damian Harris, who we're going to sit half the time.
Yeah. No, look. I mean, we're not saying anything that we didn't say last year. And like I said, now we don't even have an offensive coordinator. So now we're. I'm sorry, I can't blame the players. I cannot blame the players.
But think about that. Did they overachieve last season?
No, I don't think they overachieved.
10-7, you don't think, but a rookie quarterback?
No, I don't think so.
See, I think they overachieved, but they had good coaching.
I mean, if they overachieved, it would be like by a game or so. You know, that's, one game maybe. If they would have finished, 9-8, that would have been a one-game difference,
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like they overachieved.
But they would never have been 10-7 how they played last year. Because, look, you have 4 or 5 teams in the league, in the conference alone, that improved tremendously. So now that 10-7, even if you go 10-7, you're not making the playoffs. 10-7,
and that's my point is that they got lucky for 20 plus years because they could plug and play. Who won the game?
Pittsburgh just missed 2.
Oh wow! So they got lucky. They were in a poor division. All these teams have started to bulk up. The Buffalo Bills look like the team to beat this season.
Oh, yeah. They came out and they played.
Miami Dolphins went all in.
Yeah.
They grabbed, Tyreek, Edmonds. Look at the contributions he made.
Yeah, Chase Edmonds was fantastic in this game. He was.
Armstead, the left tackle. Again, they made so many good moves. And as bad as we think the Jets are going to be, we're going to be fighting the Jets for third place.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. that's where we're at. And it's unfortunate because, again, I think that if they could have swallowed their pride, again, Tom Brady's still here, things work. I think Bill Belichick is it's fading. The mystique's fading, bro. It's 3
I
years
think
out.
it's I
3
think
years
it's the fact that the
And-
coaching has faded.
But the Patriots, how many times as a Patriot fan and
Like
Bill we
I
trust,
still
and Bill we
like the
trust.
roster. I like the roster. I think with proper coaching they could
Would you
they
take
could
the
make the
Dolphins
playoffs.
roster or New England's roster?
If I what?
Miami's roster or New England's roster?
I think I would take Miami. I mean, not Miami's, New England's because of the quarterback.
That's the only position that I would say is that we
You're right.
beat Miami. So why
Well,
would you take their
the
roster?
only offensive position. I like the New England defense better than Miami's defense. I do.
They've got a number one cornerback. We do not.
Yeah,
Jalen
that's-
Mills, great
yes.
play at the end of the half. Great play.
So you give us that cornerback, and
So they don't have a number one cornerback. They don't have a number one linebacker.
I think
the best defensive lineman.
Look, I do like the defense. I do like the defense
Better than Miami's. Okay.
better than Miami's. Yeah.
Buffalo's roster.
Oh God, no! Buffalo's roster is better than pretty much anybody's.
So what's different?
What's different?
Yeah, New England just hasn't decided to put players on the field that can make an impact. And Buffalo.
What's different is they have receivers. What's different is they have Josh Allen.
Is Odell Beckham Jr. still out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You think New England's even going to make an offer? No.
I would hope so.
They're not, though. Buffalo's
But
already
they're not
said
going
it.
to.
The
You're
Rams
right.
said it. You know what we're going to do? Oh, we can't afford it. Every team
Yeah.
figures out how to make it work under the cap. And
Yeah.
somehow New England can't afford to do it.
Yep.
And I'm not saying he's the savior, but you can obviously see you don't have enough talent.
No, the
need
problem
offensive
isn't
players.
that they can't afford it; is that they won't afford it. There's a big difference.
And it
Bill
doesn't work
Belichick will
anymore.
not. He will not sign someone that offsets the roster
Yeah.
by the pay scale.
And when
He
you don't
won't do
have
it.
this, and when you don't have the star quarterback, your teams are never going to win.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's what we're going to see. All right, so let's go on. So we're going to wrap this up with our 3 stars of the game. Kenny, you want to go first with your number 3?
Sure. I got number 3, McCourty, 6 tackles. He did a great job.
Very good.
I got Myers, did a fantastic job. And I always love Aguilar. Aguilar is always my top. he's
So
always my-
just your number 3, Kenny, not all 3.
Oh.
Three, that's fine. Your number 3
He let the cat out of the bag
was
already.
Devin McCourty. He like the Judon. He got the Ron, who do you got at 3?
Yeah, I have to go with Bailey as number 3 because look, I got on him last year. He was terrible last year.
Mhm,
First game in, he's already
Mhm.
put 2, right at the doorstep.
Yeah.
Not that it helped, but
Defense,
But,
yeah,
I think he did a great job. So I gave him the nod at number 3.
okay. I went Kyle Duggar. I just liked his explosiveness. He seemed very active on the defensive side of the ball. Kenny, you said who you had Myers at 2?
Yeah.
I also had Jacoby Myers at 2. Ron, who'd you have at 2?
I had Wise at number 2.
Dedrick Wise, good pick.
Yes.
Good pick. I thought he was in the backfield, that strip sack.
Yeah, I think he had a pretty good game. He definitely stood out on a bunch of plays, and there was a lot of plays that he was in the vicinity and caused havoc.
Yeah.
Even though you don't get anything credit on the stats, but there was a lot of plays where he was involved, even though you don't get the number for it.
No, agreed. Number 1, Kenny, you had
Aguilar.
Nelson Aguilar. Interesting one. Are you ready for mine? Jake Bailey, baby. I went Bailey at number 1. 3 punts, all 3 inside the 20.
Yeah.
I thought he was the only guy that
2 of them were inside the 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what we paid him for. And to your
Yeah.
point, Ron, last season
Mhm.
very poor. And even on kickoffs, I thought he did a very good job of getting the ball when they wanted to go deep or when they wanted
Yeah.
to go short.
Yeah.
He picked off the ball well. I thought Bailey was the best player today on the field. Ron, your number 1?
Number 1, I went with Duggar.
Nice.
You know, I know I wanted to put Myers in there, but I couldn't put everybody in there. I also thought of McCourty, you know, but I think Duggar was pretty much everything that you could ask him to do, he was doing.
Yeah, when he
And
got hit, when he made the tackle on Tyreek and he was hurt, and
yeah,
I'm like, they cannot afford to lose him at all. If he
no,
goes, they're in big trouble. Like
yeah, they
Phillips,
were
I
in
like
big
a lot,
trouble.
but Duggar, that got me nervous.
Yeah,
No. So next week at Pittsburgh, we're all looking for at least Ron. You say must win.
yeah,
Kenny,
They need to figure out how to run the ball.
run the ball right, a little more effectively, and offensive continuity a little more. I would say moxie from Mac Jones, if that makes sense. It just seemed like he was a
Yeah,
little flustered today.
yeah.
Little flustered. Did Cincinnati miss a kick too again?
it is. The ball is going all over the place.
Oh boy.
A
All right.
fumble, somebody picks it up, runs it forward. And, this
All right,
game,
boy. So this has been Sports Unfolded. We are a weekly podcast. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live, fan interactive. So if you join us, we will definitely make sure that you're acknowledged. Ron, my hockey guru, Kenny, my basketball insider, but also we're all diehard Patriot fans. So NBA season coming up soon. We'll be doing an NBA preview show, NHL preview show already scheduled for October 4th. And then we'll do our weekly rankings and our weekly ranking shows. So, guys, thank you so much. Our NFL rankings will be out on Tuesday as well. So we've got NFL, Major League Baseball on Tuesdays, NHL and basketball soon to come. So we've got a lot going on with Sports Unfolded. I want to thank both of you for joining us tonight.
what time's the game next week?
1:00 again.
Okay, so I'll be on location again.
All right. I love it. Next time, I got to get the fans out the back there to wave.
Yeah, no, they're too busy playing Smash Brothers and looks like Strive. Yeah, it looks like Strive. So they're too busy playing games.
Kenny, thank you again. Ron, thank you again. Fans out there, all we want is peace in this world.
Yes.
Take care, everybody.